Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Episode 85. So tonight we are reviewing Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice?
Nailed it.
Really?
Yeah.
I literally just came up with some, cliche generic
colon.
Yes. This movie was awful.
Well, yeah, it wasn't good.
It was so confusing.
It was a lot.
It was so boring.
Well,
it was so long.
I should preface by saying I refused to see Man of Steel.
Right.
When it came out because I don't like Superman because I think he's boring. And you saw it.
Because he's pretty.
Because you like Henry Cavill, which he is.
Yeah.
So the movie started and the first action scene, I was like, what's going on? I have no idea what's happening. I'm very confused. And you had to fill me in.
It wasn't an action scene, it was a flashback.
Okay, so within the first 15 minutes of the movie, we have Batman's origin story.
Yep.
Which is a flashback.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's
like a dream.
Slash a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Then we flash forward to a flashback from Man of Steel.
Yes.
From the end of Man of Steel, with the big fight in Metropolis.
But from the perspective of Batman, who's there.
Because I didn't realize that Metropolis and Gotham were like a stone's throw away, but apparently they are.
They're like across a bay.
I did not know this. Maybe that's true.
Is this
not
like
sure.
the Twin Cities?
Then we go to India, to the Isles, to the ocean breezes of India.
Yep.
Then we go to
the desert.
Nairobi, Africa. All of this within the first 15 minutes. It was so much was happening.
And you're just like, huh? Who are these? Why? What? Huh?
So I love Batman.
Do you see? I've never really loved Batman or Superman. So this is like not a movie.
Well,
for
I have
me.
to preface. I love Michael Keaton as Batman.
Okay.
I like the playboy billionaire Batman who happens to like fight people on the side, which is what the Michael Keaton ones are. They're very like, I'm kind of a sexy millionaire.
I don't know if I've ever seen. To be fair, I think the only Batmans that I've seen
are the real shitty ones.
The Joel Schumacher.
Batman and Robin.
Yes, no. Which I actually really enjoyed as a child
because it's
because they were campy and fun.
Yes.
But
no, you should watch the Michael Keaton ones.
Okay.
Because they're more. I always like it when, even in Superman movies, when they're not being Superman or Batman, when they're just like hanging out as Clark Kent.
Right.
Like, this is my life. I find that more interesting.
Okay.
And then like slight action things happening throughout.
Personally, I think first and foremost the premise of this movie is stupid.
I mean, it happened in the comics.
Okay.
But is that a reason for a movie to exist? I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
Maybe
it's just
not.
no, because I think the reason that I think it's stupid is because it doesn't lend itself well to a good movie. It was 2.5 hours long, and yet he felt like they had to tell the Batman story, which who cares because everyone knows the backstory of Batman.
So the opening scene is his parents get killed outside the theater again. We don't need to see it anymore. It was such a boring way to start this movie.
It really was, and it wasted so much time. And it's like, I don't know, I guess it didn't tell me anything new about these characters.
No.
And so it didn't really help me buy into who they are.
Not at all.
And so then I didn't care as much about the action because I didn't care about anybody.
No. I was so disengaged in the action.
These fights were just so dull.
So then this movie also suffered from the annoying plot point of like, we're gonna fight. But if I just took a moment to actually explain to you what was happening, we wouldn't have to. But I'm not, so we can fight. And then we do. And then right when you're about to kill me, then I tell you what's going on. Ben Affleck is Batman.
Yeah.
He was dour.
He was just blah more than anything else.
Such a bummer. He was not sexy.
No, he wasn't. Is he supposed to be?
Batman? Yeah.
Oh.
Batman's totally supposed to be sexy.
Okay.
He was sort of... Did you ever watch Batman Beyond, that cartoon?
No.
All right. Well, there's this cartoon And it's really good.
Okay.
Bruce Wayne he's elderly, he has a cane, and he starts training a new young Batman, and it's in like this cool future world, and I think they play lacrosse or something. Anyway, he's kind of like, I'm grouchy, I've seen it all. Mm-hmm. Which is cool.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. If you have a young, idealistic, younger person to counter that, but he was just like, get off my lawn. Like, he was just like, ah.
Well, that was what, I guess that's the thing, was that they didn't spend any time telling us who Ben Affleck as Batman is.
Well, because this is our introduction to Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah.
And it was like, are we supposed to be taking this from, like, the end of the Christian Bale storyline?
That's what I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what Batman I'm in.
Like, I wish that the opening had been a montage of him kicking ass or whatever, and over time getting older, having injuries.
Didn't they, like, have a weird montage of all of these different people that played him, or that were... Did I make that up?
Yes.
Was it for Superman? Where they, like, showed us, like, a thing of, like, all of these different people?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And they were like, and that one, was it a trailer that we were watching?
Oh, the Lego Batman movie?
Oh, that's what it was!
Well, that was weird too, so the Lego...
Because I thought that was in this movie.
I wish.
The thing is, this was a Superman movie.
Yeah.
That involved...
That featured Batman.
Yeah. And Wonder Woman.
And Wonder Woman.
But...
Well, they're forming the Justice League.
Right.
Which is DC's equivalent of the Avengers.
Right. And I don't care.
Okay.
I'm much more of a Marvel person than DC. Clearly the rest of the world is as well.
It's kind of a losing battle. I mean, it's been for a while. They got Batman, they got Superman. They're holding it on tight. That's about it. They're like, oh no. I often felt, and maybe this is just because I'm not as versed in the DC world, I often felt like this movie was not for the general audience.
No.
Where I was like,
particularly because I mean, I don't really know the DC world at all.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what was going on.
I actually would have liked to know, even though, we'll get into it, Jesse Eisenberg can go jump in a lake, How
do you really feel?
I wanted to know more about Lex Luthor, because his character I found very confusing.
I did too.
It was sort of just like, why? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, why is he... Yeah.
What is your plan?
Yeah.
He goes into the alien ship that crashed at the end of Man of Steel, which I did not see.
I need to drink for this.
and then he's in this, like, I don't know, like, Minority Report pool of goo.
Talking to the
Michael Shannon's body is, like, floating around, and he cuts his hand and puts the blood on him, and the computer is like, you can't do this, you're gonna make a deformed something? I really didn't get it. So then, so he creates what's the thing?
I don't know what his name is.
Oh, whatever the thing is that he creates. Oh, I feel bad, I forgot this. It's like death something.
Diptonium?
Apocalypse, I don't know. He creates this thing, and that's a character, that's a thing.
Sure.
I think. I'm gonna say a bold statement. I liked Superman more than Batman in this movie. They spent more time with him and Lois than anything else.
That's what I'm saying. I guess that's what I was trying to get at.
Their love story It was very like, I love you, you are the love, we shall kiss now. It was just weird. It was like...
What?
Okay, I guess. Oh, yeah. It was weird, right?
It was weird.
She definitely seemed like his little pet or something.
Well, isn't she?
Well,
I mean,
do you want to hear my wacky theory?
Oh, okay, go.
Okay, so I would say 3, maybe 4 times in this movie, she is in peril.
Yeah.
He then comes out of nowhere to rescue her. He catches her and she's just like, yes.
Well, sure.
I am into this. So I'm pretty convinced that Lois Lane is an adrenaline junkie who keeps putting herself in danger. So sexy Henry Cavill, who's like kind of emotionally like closed off because he doesn't want to, deal. That's the only time he shows up for her.
I like that.
I like it. Because she was like into it.
I really like the idea of just, and I don't know, maybe this is what Smallville was, but I like the idea of just like a drama of like the behind the scenes. Like
trials and tribulations of dating Superman?
Yeah.
I mean, you should just watch Lois and Clark.
Okay.
You never watched Lois and Clark?
No. But also, if Henry Cavill came and picked me up, I would also have Amy Adams.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't judge her for it, but I was like, I don't think you're trying to not be in peril, Amy Adams. I think you're like...
She got a little comfortable.
Yeah, come save me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh no, you're busy saving the world, but I'm drowning. Come save me. I love you. Makes that happen.
I like this.
I'm telling you, and that would have made her character so much more interesting.
Too.
Of course you would. I am not blaming her. I'm just saying she needs to get her kick somehow.
Yeah.
And she's working it out. She's like, yeah, Lex Luthor, push me off this building. Yes. Every time she almost died, she was just like, yeah, it's cool. He's gonna come save me. Oh, he saved me. Let's go and fuck. Like, that's what happened. And she was into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only thing I was genuinely excited about to see this movie
Tell me.
because Jeremy Irons was in it.
Oh, right.
I love Jeremy Irons. He looks great. He was fabulous. Every time he was on screen, I was into it.
Sure.
He was like his little, like, Jewish mom. Like, he kept being like, well, there's never going to be any Wayne grandkids running around. Like, he was just like, when are you going to find a girlfriend, Bruce? And it was, like, kind of amazing.
Even you got too old to die young, not for lack of trying.
So, like, throughout the movie, Batman's having, like, weird dream sequences. At one point, it becomes Mad Max.
Yes.
Batman is, like, suddenly Tom Hardy, and he's wearing, like, an overcoat and everything, but he has, like, his little bat hat on in the desert for reasons during the daytime. Like, I kind of loved it. Anyway, these, like, flying mosquito people come, and we're like, oh, this is a dream. But then it kept going on. We're like, well, maybe it's not. And then this, like, John Leguizamo dressed up like a red Power Ranger looking guy is yelling at Batman through his computer that Lois Lane is the answer. So now Batman's having premonitions.
None of which made sense in this movie.
Well, none of which, like, does Batman ever use the knowledge that Lois Lane is the key?
The key to what?
To Superman's heart. Like...
Is that what's gonna save him?
Yeah, duh. No, yeah, of course. Superman's gonna get saved by love. I don't know. Lex Luthor kidnaps Lois. It seems like he uses Batman's premonition information to his...
Right.
Like, what?
What is fucking going on here? Why does any of this matter?
I don't know.
Just show me fucking Henry Cavill naked. I don't care about any of this.
Care. I just put him in some Superman underwear.
Yes. Oh my God.
So Wonder Woman shows up. Every time she shows up, tribal drums start playing, and it's bum bum ba and she looks like Xena Warrior Princess, so it like matched, right? And I was just like waiting for her to be like, hey! Like it was like, where are you, Lucy Lawless?
And they all like take a good 38 seconds to have a photo shoot pose. I'm ready. This is the Partial Justice League.
I'm ready.
Like, what was it? It was just like a photo shoot. It was so bizarre.
This whole movie felt like fan service.
Yeah, but in the worst kind. It's a fan disservice.
Doomsday.
Oh.
That was the thing that they fought at the end that looked like a weird blobby thing.
It reminded me of something else that we've seen in some of these movies. Maybe the rock people from Noah.
Shut up. I was literally just going to say it kind of looked like the rock people from Noah.
Yeah!
Except like more like gooey.
Yeah.
Like less rocky.
Yeah.
But more anthropomorphic or something. That might be the wrong word.
I don't know.
I was bummed out at the end. They all come together. Wonder Woman shows up. For some reason, she's like been on vacation for a while and she's like not interested in helping. Unclear why. I'm sure she'll get her own movie to explain it.
No, I doubt it. She's a woman.
But she's Wonder Woman. And so they all come, Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman are all fighting Doomsday at the end. And you would have thought it would have been like fun, but it was really just like, I'm doing this. And no one was talking. No one had a plan.
It wasn't collaborative.
It was just like, we just kind of know how to fight. There was no fun. There was no jokes. Nobody was like having a good time.
No, and I guess that's the thing. Like, DC's really fully embraced, like, the dark superhero thing.
Batman has the sort of like Raphael complex from the Ninja Turtles, where he's just like, meow.
Right.
Like, lately. I'm telling you, those Michael Keaton ones, he's really fun. Like, he's like a blast. You're like, I want to hang out with that guy.
Well, even, was it George Clooney?
Yes.
Yikes.
Santa Claus wants some love
I guess most superheroes have become sort of bummers.
Yeah, well, everyone's gotten into, like, I blame Christopher Nolan, personally.
Yeah.
But it's all like, oh, we gotta do it dark.
Make
you
it
know,
realistic.
we have to take all of the color out. It can only be black and white and red. I'm like, everyone has to talk in a voice like this. Why?
Well, that's why it was so weird, too, because, like, Batman's just like, I'm dark and I'm over here, or whatever, and Superman is just like, hey, guys.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Wanna go, like, hang out? Like, he's just, like, a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And Henry Cavill does a good job of just being, like, a nice guy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what Superman's all about most of the time. Unless he's, like...
I really would like to see Henry Cavill in more movies. I also think he needs to break into the world of rom-coms.
Because, that scene... So the opening scene... Amy Adams is, like, in a bathtub, and you would, like, almost see her nips.
Oh, yeah. It's, like, at least a good chunk of side boob.
He walks in with his glasses and a grocery bag full of flowers, and he was like, I'm gonna make dinner! And I was like, what's this movie? I like it.
Exactly! And then he's, like, crazy and gets into the tub in his clothes.
With your leather shoes on?
Yeah, that was gross.
No, don't do
gross.
that. But that was, like, a totally different movie.
Right.
That I was into.
Yeah. You know what we need?
Huh?
I want Henry Cavill in a rom-com where he's also naked.
So rated R rom-com.
Yeah. Any kind of fish out of water movie, I think, where it's like a farmhand. Like, that's his thing.
He can have his, like, original accent, because everyone would be like, oh my god.
Yeah, totally.
Freaking Reese Witherspoon can be like, what? I want to hear everything you have to say. Ball?
Like, give me, like, Sweet Home Alabama, where she comes home and meets Henry Cavill.
Or she has to go back to London for, like, reasons. Ooh, she gets a job in London, and she has to go back there, and she falls in love with Henry Cavill. But then, like, her dad dies or something, she has to go back to her hometown, and her boyfriend from high school also falls in love with her, and then he has to come back. It writes itself. It was really weird. In the middle of the movie, Ben Affleck goes, oh, Lex Luthor? And then, like, immediately after, Jeremy Irons just goes, Lex Luthor?
It was like a brief or something, and he goes, well, Lex Luthor.
Luthor. It was just, like,
that's
so
what,
weird.
Was, Lex Luthor. And I was like, huh?
I love that Jeremy Irons was like, I'm not here for this. Lex Luthor. I mean, I know this is like a Superman trope, and like whatever, we're still complaining about this, but the fact that everyone just has collective face blindness to his glasses.
Yeah. Oh. Although, did I send you that?
In this, like, TMZ world, it just seems weird.
Did I send you that post?
About him in Times Square?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cute. That it was like, nobody recognizes me.
Also, I wish I was there and had recognized him.
I mean, like, hey.
Excuse me, I think you need to pick me up in your arms and then come into a bathtub.
And also
but
change your sexual orientation.
That's flexible.
Isn't he dating like an 18-year-old?
Allegedly.
The first time Batman and Superman confront each other, it's that scene where he's like, do you bleed? And he's like,
yeah.
You will.
I'll make you bleed.
What? I really wish Batman had just been like, hey, what's up, Clark?
Yeah,
like,
right?
You're clearly Clark Kent. We met last week at a party. That would have kind of been amazing. Like, I wish one person didn't have facial blindness.
Right?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah. He wasn't the most boring part of it, at least.
But he wasn't even that fun.
No.
Like, he wasn't even, like, wacky.
No, he wasn't.
He was just there.
He thought he was being wacky. He tried to be wacky.
Give me some, like, Sam Rockwell playing Lex Luthor. Like, yes.
Lex Luthor. This movie was 2 movies.
Yeah.
And instead of being 2.5 hours long, it should have been 2 hour and 50-minute movies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend going to see this movie.
Yeah, unless you're a huge fan and you'll like get every little like look at that, look at this.
It wasn't incompetently made. It was just super fucking boring.
It was a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Basically.
And there's not enough shirtless men to make it worth it.
He wasn't like shirtless farmhanding.
He wasn't like shirtless like oil rigging. He wasn't shirtless, like, shirtless logging.
Fishing.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, and subscribe and share.
Yes.